Good morning, students. Today is Friday, January 21st, 2010. You're watching LTV Jumpstart.
It's your story. I'm Sean Cannon.
And I'm Matt Engel.
Next up, we've got Kayla Ham with clubs, Drew Wilson with sports, and, of course, I'll do your weather. And we're back. Now for the question of the day. Your question is, who is the only NBA center to lead the league in assists? A. Marc Gasol, B. Wilt Chamberlain, C. Lamar Odom, or D. Dirk Nowitzki?
The answer will come later in the show.
On February 3rd, the seniors will be called to the cafeteria at approximately 9 a.m. to hear the Making College and Careers Count presentation. Each senior will need to be sure they take a pencil with them, as they will need it during the presentation.
SHS will host a Money Skills Workshop on February 11th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. in the cafeteria. The workshop is designed for parents, and they encourage the parents of all students to attend, not just seniors.
Now get ready for Kayla with your clubs.
Hello, I'm Kayla with your Searcy High School Club announcements. Beta members who are attending Beta Convention need to come in Miss White's room after school on Friday, January 2nd for a short meeting. All students in NHS, Student Council, FBLA, Beta, or Crown Club who will be serving at the Hall of Honor need to meet Miss Bailey and Miss Davis in the cafeteria on Wednesday, January 27th at 7:30 a.m. for an informational meeting. Key Club members interested in ordering t-shirts this year must do so by the end of the day today. Please see Doc for details. That's it for clubs. I'm Kayla Ham.
Thanks, Kayla.
Due to the inclement weather we experienced on January 4th, school will unfortunately be in session on Monday, February 15th.
Next up, we have Drew with your line sports.
What's up, Searcy High? I'm Drew Wilson with your Searcy Lions sport announcements. There are a few leftover playoff t-shirts. If anyone would like one, they are only $10 and they come in all sizes. Anyone interested should see Coach Harper. On Wednesday, the boys bowling team faced Catholic High at Maumelle. They won with a score of 9-4 with the juniors John Kilpatrick bowling a 222, Preston Tarkin bowled scores of 188 and 216. Logan Castile bowled 198 and John Holmes bowled scores of 231 and 190. Sophomore Adam Chapman had a score of 192 as well. The girls bowling team faced Mount St. Mary's and defeated them with a final score of 11-2. Senior Lauren Jimerson had a score of 191 while Ann Mina had scores of 173 and 168. That's it for sports. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks, Drew.
He did a really good job.
That's a new set. It looks pretty awesome.
I must admit it does. And I'll be right back with the Searcy High School weather. Good morning, Searcy High School. I'm Sean Cannon, the weatherman. Let's do some weather. As you can tell, we have finally made it to the end of the week. It is Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We have a high of 56, a low of 42, a 10% chance of some precipitation. Saturday, we have a high of 56, low of 46, a 70% chance that we will see maybe some thunderstorms to start off the weekend. Sunday, high of 58, low of 35, mostly cloudy. As you can tell, we probably will not see the sun for a long time. Monday, we have a high of 51, a low of 30, a 10% chance of precipitation. And Tuesday, high 50, low of 30, mostly cloudy weather. Let's go to the almanac. As you can tell, we have a 10% chance of rain today. It will probably hold off, but we will have cloudy weather. Today we have a high of 56, our average high is 51, so we're actually pretty close to where we should be. Nowhere near our record of 72 set in 1943. Our low today is 42, a little bit higher than our average low of 29, but pretty far off from our record low of 2 set in 1984. Let's go to the hour by hour. As you can tell, it will be cloudy all day. Probably won't see the sun for a long time. If it does peek out, it'll just be briefly. 8 a.m. you can expect 42 degrees Fahrenheit, still with the cloudy. Noon, about 49 degrees, and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it will warm up to around 54 degrees. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for weather today. Have a great weekend, Cersei High School. Let's go back to the news desk.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for that weather.
You know, speaking of perfect 10, here's Austin and Casey with the top 10 movies of the decade.
We all remember the trends that have come and gone from 2000 to 2009. The awkward turtle.
That's what she said.
And being overdramatic in song and poetry. However, you might be surprised at the movies that made the top of the charts over the decade. Ranked 10 in the decade. This film focuses on the last 12 hours of Jesus of Nazareth's life. It begins in the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus has gone to pray after sitting the Last Supper. Jesus must resist the temptations of Satan. Betrayed by Judas Iscariot, Jesus is then arrested and taken within the city walls of Jerusalem, where leaders of the Pharisees confront him with accusations of blasphemy, and his trial results in a condemnation to death. Number 10 movie of the decade is The Passion of the Christ. Ranked 9 in the decade. In this film, Peter Parker's having a rough time. His double life as the superhero Spider-Man is having a devastating impact on his civilian life. Things are so bad that he declares that he's quitting and never putting on the suit again. However, his sense of duty forces him to become a hero again when the brilliant scientist Dr. Otto Octavius is transformed in an accident and becomes Dr. Octopus. With 4 metal tentacles sticking out of his back, he'll prove to be a more than worthy opponent for Spider-Man. The number 9 movie of the decade is Spider-Man 2. Ranked 8 in the decade. While Frodo and Sam continue to approach Mount Doom to destroy the One Ring, unaware of the path Gollum is leading them, the former Fellowship aid Rohan and Gondor in a great battle in the Pelennor Fields, Minas Tirith, and the Black Gates as Sauron wages his last war against Middle-earth. The number 8 movie of the decade is The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. Ranked 7 in the decade. In this film, a maturing Anakin Skywalker goes to the dark side of the Force and becomes Sith Lord Darth Vader. We experience the transformation in a dark, scary, yet thrilling climax. The story here logically sets up the events of Episode 4, the original 1977 Star Wars movie in which Darth Vader goes to war against his own children, Luke and Leia. The number 7 movie of the decade is Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Ranked 6 in the decade. In this film, when Sam Witwicky starts college, the Decepticons make trouble in Shanghai. A presidential envoy believes it's because the Autobots around. He wants them gone. But he's wrong. The Decepticons need access to Sam's mind to see glyphs imprinted there that will lead them to a fragile object that will give them the power to blow out the sun. Sam, his girlfriend Michaela, and Sam's parents are in danger. Optimus Prime and Bumblebee are Sam's principal protectors. The number 6 movie of the decade is Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Ranked 5 in the decade. In this film, Peter Parker is bitten by a genetically modified spider. He wakes up the next morning with incredible powers. After witnessing the death of his uncle, Parker decides to put his new skills to use in order to rid the city of evil, but someone else has other plans. The Green Goblin sees Spider-Man as a threat and must dispose of him. Even if it means the Goblin has to target Parker's aunt and the girl he secretly pines for. The number 5 movie of the decade is Spider-Man. Ranked 4 in the decade. Once again thrown into the world of the supernatural, Captain Jack Sparrow finds out that he owes a blood debt to the legendary Davy Jones, captain of the ghostly Flying Dutchman. With time running out, Jack must find a way out of his debt or else be doomed to eternal damnation and servitude in the afterlife. And as if this weren't enough, Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann are arrested and sentenced to death unless Will can get Lord Beckett Jack's compass, who are forced to join Jack on yet another misadventure. The number 4 movie of the decade is Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest. Ranked 3 in the decade. In this film, a paraplegic Marine dispatched to the moon Pandora on a unique mission becomes torn between following his orders and protecting the world he feels is his home. Even though this film just recently made its way to the top of the list, the number 3 movie of the decade is Avatar. Ranked 2 in the decade. In this film, right after their honeymoon, the newlywed couple goes to Princess Fiona's parents' house for dinner. When a fairy godmother discovers Fiona and Shrek are married, she reminds the king about a deal they agreed on 2 years ago, that Fiona should have married Prince Charming, her son. The king then hires a cat named Puss in Boots to kill Shrek. The number 2 movie of the decade is Shrek 2. Ranked number 1 in the decade. In this film, Batman raises the stakes in his war on crime. With the help of Lieutenant Jim Gordon and District Attorney Harvey Dent, Batman sets out to dismantle the remaining criminal organizations that plague the city's streets. The partnership proves to be effective, but they soon find themselves prey to a reign of chaos unleashed by a rising criminal mastermind known to the terrified citizens of Gotham as the Joker. The top-ranked movie between the years 2000 and 2009 is The Dark Knight. These results were taken from the Internet Movie Database at imdb.com. For Lion TV Jumpstart, I'm Casey Parrish.
I definitely did not see a movie that strikes my fancy on that list.
I'm not gonna lie, my fancy got stricken in more than one place because Lord of the Rings made it on the list. And I love Lord of the Rings because I love the fact that the smallest person in stature can have the biggest heart. And Frodo was a hobbit, and he had hairy feet, and he used those hairy feet to walk all the way across Middle-earth. He started in the Shire, and his hobbit little friends, like Samwise Gamgee, aided him in his quest until he made it to Mordor to throw the one ring of them all into the fires of the mountain. And it's just touching because Sauron was evil and he was an eye in a tower, and then there was Aragorn and he had the sword, and they fixed the sword, the elves fixed it, and so it was back in one piece, and he went and he fought and stuff. Man, that was just, I love Lord of the Rings, man. Oh my God, that's so touching, you know? Like, now for the answer to the question of the day. Your question was, who was the only NBA starter center to lead the league in assists? And your answer is B, Wilt Chamberlain. That's all for this episode of Lion TV Jumpstart. I'm Sean Cannon.
I'm Matt Engel.
It's your story, Cersei High School. Live it, tell it, smell it. A, Mark Gasol, B, Wilt Chamberlain, C, Lamar Odom, or D, Dirk Nowitzki.
We're gonna say it's Dirk Nowitzki. Sorry.